Yeah, these aliens are really getting crazy. Welcome, guys, to the alien episode of the 2 a.m. podcast.
Yeah, I forgot what movie that was, but it stars Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix.
I'm pretty sure it's just the Predator sound.
No. Whatever the aliens were in that movie with those two, it was the exact same sound.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, Signs, too.
Was it Signs?
Signs.
It was Signs.
That was Signs,
Yeah.
bro.
I think that was a really well done movie.
Really, really good movie. Because you don't see much of the aliens. You just see like things happening on their ranch.
Yeah, I think the creepiest part was when they had
I like how I'm still doing this.
the newscast. When they had the newscast of the actual, I think it was in like a South American country, and they showed the alien for the first time.
Mhm.
It's a bipedal, like green creature,
Yeah.
maybe like 6.5 feet tall,
Yeah.
and it just comes across the screen. It was a creep. I still remember the first time I saw that. Creepiest
With
thing.
the floor creaking.
Oh no.
You're like, ooh, get it away. But yeah, we were probably really young when that came out. I think you were probably 11. I was like 13, something like that.
Something.
But yeah, so it makes sense that it was creepy. But onto better news, we know that we have, declassified things that, everyone or the government has been hiding from us.
We're going to talk a lot
Which
of
we
shit.
obviously knew was true to begin with. We just needed the big guys to say, yeah, you're right.
But why? Why did we know it was true? Why did we know that aliens exist?
Because it's always been this thing where it's a cry for help. Like people want to talk about it because they went through something, right? They saw something, they witnessed it, and they want to share the story, but then they get shot down and laughed at, right? For many, many years. That's how it's been. So why would anyone have the motive to say their story anymore? They'll just be like, whatever. Like no one really cares, right?
Sure.
So it just stays hidden. But again, we've seen them with our own eyes, with cameras, with radar, with UAPs?
And we've seen
else?
them with all different types.
All different types. They've been documented in several different occasions and using different tools. So
yeah, I haven't seen them personally. I don't know if you've seen any UFOs personally. I know of friends. I mean, Logan, for example, has a story about one thing he saw during the night, which was just like
insane.
You couldn't explain it.
Yeah, you can't really explain that.
We know that a lot of people see things off of the coast of PCH.
Yeah, and we're really quick to just jump to say, nah, you didn't see anything. It was a shooting star. It was a plane. It was whatever, right? Because we just want to. We want to shut that out. We don't really want to think about it. But then there's the other side that wants to think about this and ensures that it is absolutely important to talk about because it's happening. It's been happening and nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Now, I think the questions that it raises for me is like, what do they want? How long have they existed? What do they look like? Is technology defined differently to them? I think whatever applies on Earth does not apply there. Like they have totally different standards for everything, as a creature.
Yeah.
So they were designed, I think, better than humans.
Yeah. And how does it change our perception of the universe and like our place in this as a human being, having
it
a
makes you
life,
realize how small you are, bro.
Yeah. That's
all it does, because these things just expand you. They expand you you realize how much of a sponge your brain is. And it's not going to expand to the size that the information, to the size of the information that's provided to you. So it's like, you got to just be like pushing it away. So I understand when people push it away,
And maybe 50 to 70 years ago, this was thought of as crazy. Like if you saw a UFO and you reported it,
you're a lunatic. Yeah.
you're a fucking lunatic. But now I think, considering that the government has come out with certain like declassified information and all the stories of fighter pilots and all that stuff, I think it's now becoming more mainstream. We're starting to see news outlets cover it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because whatever you see on TV, whatever you see in the media, whatever is provided to you through a service or a higher up, meaning news channels, whatever, that's not a coincidence. Okay, everything is is pre-planned. It's pre-planned for you. So if you're programmed based off these things, you need to start unlocking yourself for you to even start comprehending these things.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could be like in a jail in a sense, right? If you care about the Kardashians more than, your next meal, something's up.
No, you know what I find funny about this is that the first time the government, maybe in like 2020, 2021, some relatively recently, when they first came out with a declassified piece of information that they are actively studying UFO phenomenon and what these things are because they are a national security threat, according to the government, nobody cared. We might have focused on it for maybe like half a day, if that, a few hours. But other than that, it's business as usual.
Yeah.
Which is just like astounding to me. How do you not start to think about these things? How do you not begin to even look up at the sky? Once we know that this is like, there's an element of truth to it.
Yeah. Childish. It has something to do with like not tuning into your child. Because you have to be curious.
You do have to
in
be
order
curious,
to be, I think in that wavelength to comprehend it and enjoy it. Because it's enjoyable, dude. If you start thinking about black holes and like our understanding of it, imagine aliens' like understanding of what a black hole is. Maybe they can travel through it. I don't know.
Maybe.
You get me?
Yeah.
Like that's
Wormholes.
what's interesting about this is that it goes beyond, hey man, we got captured by 2 UFOs above my house last night and they're blasting laser beams. No.
Some shitty
That's
VHS
what
tape.
we know. That's what we know. We know this because we created it. Just like everything else on TV. We've created this crap. So we have this thing called the X-Files and people get, just a flying saucer comes above their house and then just sucks them into space and does weird things to them and gets sent back to Earth. And now they have this whole complication, visits doctors and doesn't know what's wrong. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's just painted to us. You don't think that they're greater than that?
I think there is an element of truth to that, though. There have been accounts where people have been abducted and there's like weird shit, like doctors take x-rays and they find certain like pieces of metal that don't belong there.
Yeah, and things that have no element on Earth.
Yeah, and it sounds crazy, but these are verifiable things.
It's it's crazy, and I understand why those stories are intriguing. You can start thinking of aliens like that, but why do we have to think of everything as like a horror story? Why can't we just be like intrigued?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's kind of like what we wanted to do with this episode is to just shine light on the realistic things. If you are a father, if you are a mother, if you are a single person that likes to just know things,
Human being.
this is
If you're a human being.
exactly. You just think about it very general, like we should know this, and it's going to benefit us as a whole to know this thing.
But yeah, let's cover some. I took a screenshot. I went on Wikipedia and covered. They actually have an entire list of UFO sightings dating back to a long time ago. Okay, so this is a list of reported UFO sightings over the course of history.
Gotta love it. And these are not by no means all of them, but
no, I'm not going to go through all of them. There are a lot,
millions.
But give us some time. We'll browse through these and we'll see what we can pick out from these and try to connect dots between then and now.
Sick.
So let's start at the second millennium BCE.
Oof.
1440 BC. Okay,
Right.
This is in ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
And the name of this is called fiery discs.
Oh my God.
So, according to the disputed Thule papyrus, the scribes of the pharaoh Thutmose III, what a name, reported that fiery discs were encountered floating over the sky.
Wait. Well, does he have a name? Who
Pharaoh
came-
Thutmose III? Thutmose.
That is the Thutmose sickest name.
Never mind. That dude's
Yeah.
an extraterrestrial.
I know.
Okay.
No, but really, okay. So this already paints a picture for me because if you look at modern day, anyone that grew up in the 90s or was born in the 90s and you grew up burning CDs, there was a program called Nero Burn, and that was before Image Burn, and it was before like if you wanted to like burn Windows on a CD or burn music on a CD or whatever, you would go through that, attach the files to it, and it would do the burning for you. The icon was a flying disc that was on fire.
Really?
I swear. That's
Oh,
why
shit.
when you said that, I was like, oh, So
Interesting.
this is what I'm trying to paint for people, is that nothing's an accident. So if I painted that correlation between something that's 1400 BC and today, today obviously comes from some root. So there's something there, man. There's something there.
All right, let's run through it. The next period of time is called the classical antiquity. Okay.
Yes.
So this one is, let me see. This one is 76 BC. And the name of this is Spark from a Falling Star. Okay. The Roman Republic. According to Pliny the Elder, a spark fell from a star and grew as it descended until it appeared to be the size of the moon. Now, when I read this, I think, okay, shooting star, falling debris from the atmosphere, right?
Meteor, crater, whatever you want to call it.
It then ascended back up to the heavens and was transformed into a light. Now, do you know of any falling debris that flies back up into the atmosphere?
I know one. One that saw America, dude. Nope, dude. Go back.
Nope.
Oh, hell no. No. But that's okay, guys. Picture that for a second.
Like, think about it. Like, let's take our time with
Do you
this.
see how I'm like making fun of this right now? But I actually just pictured it, and it's pretty damn serious. So if you see that, you know, a falling piece of debris falling out, and you're like, it's a tiny piece of rock just coming closer and closer. Oh my God, it's going the other way. What the hell?
And keep in mind, usually it dissipates, so it disappears.
So what's going on there? Wouldn't you freak out? Wouldn't you be like, I'm going to note that for the rest of my life?
I'm going to note this experience.
Yeah. Before the Notes app was a thing, I'm going to note this for the rest of my life, dude. Save it on Thutmose's iCloud.
Yeah. Thutmose's iCloud.
What the
bro? I knew you were gonna. Once I read that, I knew you were gonna come up with some shit like that.
Continue.
Okay, 8th century. This is the 740s.
Finally,
way back in the day,
where we had rights.
The name of this is called Ships in the Sky, and the country is Ireland.
Okay.
Several sets of Irish annals, whatever you want to fucking call them. Those of Ulster. Tigernach.
Go back. What did you say?
It's called the Several Sets of Irish Annals.
Okay.
Not annals. So these complicated names, whatever the fuck these names are, all have entries. Get your laugh out.
Whatever the hell these names are.
Okay, we're gonna laugh a lot during this episode.
Oh man.
He's crying, by the way. So all of these, let's just call them like records. All of these entries to the effect have, quote, ships with their crews were seen in the air.
What?
This is the 740s. There's no fucking planes.
Wait. Ships with crews were seen in the air.
Yep.
And who is this documented by?
Ireland. This is in Wikipedia. So they're for the most part, you can say 60 to 70%
so these are,
verifiable.
Okay. So let's just say these are just claims that where claims started to happen.
Sure.
Like in the timeline.
Sure.
Okay.
So moving on to the 16th, 17th centuries. 1561, this is in the Holy Roman Empire, city-state Nuremberg. And the name for this is 1561 Celestial Phenomenon over Nuremberg. Residents of Nuremberg saw what they described as an aerial battle, followed by the appearance of a large black triangular object, and then a large crash outside of the city. The broadsheet claims that witnesses observed hundreds of spheres, cylinders, and other odd-shaped objects that moved erratically overhead. So what I want you to pick up on is the large black triangular object.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the key word.
Because if we fast forward to today, and like the 70s to the 90s, a lot of people were describing that.
It's a common theme.
It's a common theme.
And another common theme I see is like the spinning top thing. So that resembles like, think of a triangle, but if it was really far away and blurry, it would start looking like a pear. You get me?
Yeah.
So it's like those kinds of shapes too. It's completely weird.
There's all different. There's flying saucers. There's like things that look like dinner bells in the sky.
What the hell?
Circular objects.
So weird, man.
Yeah, bro. It's just,
What if they were animals?
Dog, what are you talking
They were just insane
What
creatures.
fucking animal resembles a triangle?
Maybe they're so fast. I don't know.
All right, this is the 20th century.
We don't know it yet. That's why.
We don't. 1941. Okay. The Cape, 1940s. Foo Fighters.
Mhm.
This is over World War II theaters. Small metallic spheres and colorful balls of light repeatedly spotted and occasionally photographed worldwide by bomber crews during World War II.
Hmm.
This one's interesting. 1942, the Battle of Los Angeles, which I think they used as inspiration to make the movie. But obviously in Los Angeles, California, unidentified aerial objects trigger the firing of thousands of anti-aircraft rounds and raise the wartime alert status.
Hmm.
So this was an event so large over LA that they felt the need to declare it as like a wartime type of situation. What do you think of that? While I find my next
No,
ones.
I'm trying to grasp being on the field as a soldier and being just mesmerized by these light orbs in the sky.
Bro.
And I don't think I would have too many questions at that time. I think it would just be something that would best be kept a secret because it was something that you're unsure of and you see as a gift in a way. Like a shooting star, right? When you see a shooting star, first thing people like to say is, make a wish. Like if you saw it, make a wish, right?
Yeah. I wonder why
So
we do
think
that.
of Yeah. So sentimental, bro. Like think about it. You're so far from home. So that means you're very uncomfortable. You're missing that sense and necessity. And if you've been out there for that long, then you've been gone for so long, which means that it's only so much worse. So when things like that happen, like you see a shooting star or whatever, it resembles that same comfort as home or some sort of security or hope or
Interesting.
whatever it is on the outskirts of this earth, because home is designed by you.
Mm-hmm.
So you could find, I think, little bits and pieces of that around the world.
Never thought about it like that. It's interesting. Shall we continue?
Yeah, 100%.
1947. This is probably the most famous one, the Roswell incident. You're familiar with it?
Yes.
Roswell, New Mexico. The United States Army Air Forces announced the capture of a flying saucer.
Mm-hmm.
Hours later, the Army announced that the find was a crashed weather balloon. Suspicious, right? How do you change it from flying saucer to then changing the headline to crashed weather balloon?
So underwhelming. Yeah.
In 1978, the case regained attention after Army officer Jesse Marcel told UFO researchers that the weather balloon explanation was a cover story.
Yeah. So look, this reminds me of what's happening today with Biden. All right. When he says the wrong thing and then like hours later, they'll just be like, oh, he just said the wrong thing. Like there's no way he didn't mean to say Iraq or whatever, or this or whatever, you know? So like they'll always be like, okay, our puppet is saying the wrong thing. We need to retract and change the headlines. Like we're changing our decision. But as you know, when time goes on, you can't retract your decision. Then you're lying.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what's happening.
No, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
To cover it up.
Yeah, to cover it up. So
They don't want the public to know.
nothing new.
1948, again in New Mexico, an alleged retrieval of a grounded UFO and its occupants from a plateau in New Mexico. So not only do we have the UFO, we have the little ETs cruising around in the UFO.
Aha. Forgot about those. The little employees.
And there are accounts where supposedly the U.S. government has retrieved these extraterrestrial beings and interviewed them and done autopsies and shit.
Bro.
Like,
Interviewed? And that is like,
we don't. I
what
don't
is
know
your favorite fast food joint? Yes, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A,
I knew
bro.
it.
That's fucking ridiculous. Okay, let me,
Interviews. Get the hell out of here.
Dog.
Welcome back to Entertainment Tonight.
oh my God.
We can't. You cannot believe these things, man. We got to start changing our mind. I'm done believing like this Hollywood crap that we used to believe at like 8 years old.
Well, why? Here's the thing. There's some element of it which is verifiable. I can't pinpoint it. I don't have it on me, the information. But if I was the US government and I did actually retrieve a UFO and there were actually occupants in there, what are you going to do?
Feed them McDonald's, bro. 10
You're
pieces.
going to try to understand these things, bro.
Yeah, of course. 10 piece on me. Yo, have you had ranch?
Have you had barbecue sauce? Make sure to stay away from the seed oils, huh?
Yo. Bruh. They probably healthy as hell, to be honest.
Bro. The healthiest.
Six-pack abs.
Six-pack.
They don't even need to fucking touch you to hold you. They just use the force.
No, literally, they do. There have been accounts of telepathic communication.
Okay, see, this is why I think it dips into dangerous. And I think the government knows that. Because I'm pretty sure even if this thing came close to you, there's no way there's any single propeller to the point where it would just blast any sort of wind. It doesn't seem like it blasts wind or waves at all. It's just easy flowing.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's like weightless.
Like we have today. Absolutely,
super
years
weird.
Ahead.
Super weird. We're gonna play some videos too in the video while we're talking and whatever. But
and then the interesting thing is, you know about the stealth bomber, right?
Remind me, or no, probably not.
Oh, you don't know about this fucking stealth bomber, bro?
Dude, I've seen so much crap. What is a stealth bomber? Is it an event?
It's it's
or was something captured from a stealth bomber? Yeah, the stealth bomber, sure. Yeah.
We'll put a picture up here.
The X-Wing from X-Men.
Apparently, so the logic is a lot of people think that because they retrieved these UFOs, they tried to reverse engineer the technology that goes with them, right? And that ties into the story, the verifiable story of Bob Lazar. He worked at
Area 51.
He worked in Area 51, but it's a separate sector. And he's never changed his cover story. He hasn't lied about anything. He's been on the JRE, explained the story many times.
Pretty consistent many times, even throughout the documentary.
Yeah, but they came out with the stealth bomber, which actively blocks radar, actively has a few things that, we've never seen before. And it seems like there's a large advancement of technology. So the idea is they might have reverse engineered certain things within those UFOs and brought them into.
Damn. Oh my God, that makes so much sense, bro. Like
potentially, I'm not saying it's real.
I know. But guys, think about this for a second. Everybody think about this. It's so easy to mimic things. And it's so easy to make a long-term plan, right? Especially when long-term means we should be hitting the end today. So if we were starting to hide this stuff from 1947, where do we sit at 2022?
What the fuck do they have? That's the question.
Okay, that's the question. Number two, it's never a mistake for things to turn out the way they did. So, for example, I just started a brand and I'm looking for a logo. And my brand does drinks, specifically energy. What do I look at? You start thinking of Monster, Red Bull with wings, Rockstar with the star symbol in the R, like all that stuff, right? They're all symbols. Okay, humans are made for symbols and to take pride in things that have symbols. Okay, so those would be counted as influence. Once you've seen them, you cannot forget them.
Yeah.
So the next thing you design is going to be that, which is the X-Wing from X-Men, which is a triangle, which was seen much before it was designed.
Yeah.
Boom. Like, once you start thinking like that, you're like, damn, bro, I don't think I should stop thinking like that. I don't think I should, because maybe that's the foolery. The foolery is for me to just stop thinking about it. They want you to stop thinking about it.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
that'd be a very interesting.
It's a really, I think if you understand that perspective, it's nice to dive into, because then you'll have two perspectives in one body.
All right, let's jump to the 21st century. Now, these are more recent ones. In 2004, this one's called the USS Nimitz UFO incident off the coast of San Diego, California. This one's fascinating.
This one's insane because it's right here, too.
Probably one of the most verifiable accounts. Okay. Several pilots from VFA 41 Squadron flying Super Hornets from the USS Nimitz were directed by the USS Princeton to intercept one of several unidentified flying objects detected by radar. The pilots reported a visual encounter and recorded an infrared video. The Navy has verified that the video was taken by Navy personnel and has stated that it has not yet identified the nature of the sightings, which they classify as unexplained aerial phenomena. Now, this was the incident where they reported 10 to 15 tic-tac shaped objects. Imagine a white tic-tac. The only odd thing about these things is that there's no exhaust, no sound, can travel at unbelievable speeds. They could they first come from the ocean, so they come out of the ocean, rise to like 70,000 feet up in the air in a second. And then the interesting thing is these things are a little bit bigger than fighter pilot jets. So we're talking like, 70 feet long? Something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Just wild.
I don't think anyone comprehends the speed. I don't even want to try to attempt to measure it because...
Oh, by the way, they go from the water up to the atmosphere without... They do not break the water line. Like, for some reason, they're able to transcend
okay,
physics
maybe,
as we know it.
Yeah, we need to, and I'm glad that we started. There's a documentary series that came out on this, but we need to start exploring the deepest parts of the oceans. Because I believe to God, after seeing the tunnels in Vietnam, the city with its own weather system and ecosystem.
Yeah.
If you can find that, what the hell have we not found? Like there are parts that are literally 5 miles down. Okay. New, different types of dark, different
Mariana
types of creatures,
Trench.
different kinds of pressure.
Yeah.
So we can see up. You can't see down though. Do you see why I always say we need to start hitting up the oceans, man? Because I honestly, think about it. If that pill is coming out of the ocean, why is it always spotted coming out of the ocean? The tic-tac size thing. But the triangle is always in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I'm going to start noting these sightings. And then we're going to have 3 groups. Circle.
We're going to become those crazy conspiracy theorists.
Circle, triangle, and pill.
Circle, triangle, and pill.
Yeah.
Tic-tac.
Tic-tac.
All right, 2006. Fighter jets took off for an unknown object. This is in Slovakia. In 2005, fighter jets took off for an unknown object, which was to fly over the Bohince nuclear power plant. At that time, 2 planes observed unknown objects flying over central Slovakia. Quote, there were 2 flying planes facing each other, of course at different heights. Suddenly, one told us that something had just flown over the cockpit. The one who flew over him and against him suddenly announced that something had flown very fast close to his wing. We asked if it was an airplane. He said it didn't look like an airplane, the dispatcher said. So the interesting thing about the nuclear power plants is that there have been a lot of accounts where these things are essentially studying nuclear missiles, the silos, the plants. And there was actually one incident in Russia where the controllers of the nuclear power plant completely lost control of it, and the missiles were being prepared to fire. Like, we're talking one of those moments where it's like 3 seconds away, you click the button and it's nuclear war. The world's done. But what ended up happening is that after maybe a minute of this incident, after the UFOs had flown over and done their shit, whatever it was, they closed them and then everything went back to normal. So people were assuming, the Russians were assuming that they were just trying to send a message to them. That, listen, whatever you guys have, nuclear missiles, doesn't matter. We can control them. It ain't shit compared to our technology.
And like I said at the beginning of the episode, do not underestimate this, because whatever we know, our brain cannot even think about what they know. Yeah. We don't even have that. We don't have the brain for it. We're not designed that way. It's
hard to
okay. The smartest a human will ever be, you will not even get close to that. Like, there's a reason why space, in order for you to travel out of this universe, is impossible, because you don't live that long. Okay? Because it'll take you trillions of years.
Maybe. I don't know the time frame, but
yeah. If you've seen any documentary, it'll tell you times 10 million this, times this, and it plays with millions and hundreds of thousands and millions and millions.
Inconceivable, man.
You can't. If you can't even fathom that, imagine just talking about their daily crap. Like, what is their stock market? We don't know that. We don't know. We don't know.
What is the extraterrestrial stock market, bro?
We don't know because we won't even fathom it. It'll maybe if we see it, we'll actually die. Like, that's how much it is. And I believe that.
Yeah.
Do not mess with us. God damn it, bro. Like,
all right. 2006 O'Hare International
I'm
Airport.
sweating right now.
UFO sighting. This is in Chicago in 2006.
Yeah.
United Airlines employees and pilots claimed sightings of a saucer-shaped, unlit craft hovering over a Chicago O'Hare Airport terminal before appearing to leave with a rapid vertical rise.
O'Hara?
This is in midday, bro. People who are getting ready to board the plane have seen it. The employees, the pilots. This was an actual account that was verified by a lot of people, anecdotally at least. What else do we have? But yeah, I think that covers a lot of I think those are decent number of sightings that.
Those are intense. And not even sightings. Like, things happened.
Things happened, yeah.
Now, imagine the pilot, did you see anything? Yes, I did. Dude, it didn't look like an airplane. What did you see? Like, explain it, describe it, the material. Like, what? You have so many damn questions. And it's the only person that saw it. And then you're like, damn it, if only I was flying it so I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe I can explain it better or
and
whatever.
This is
like,
not
you start thinking like that, man. That's insane.
Bro, this is not like John Doe and his Cessna, airplane who just got verified for his license like 3 months ago. These are elite fighter jet pilots who have decades of experience, who have seen every aircraft possible, and they cannot explain it. They can't explain the speed, the maneuverability, what these things look like.
Yeah.
They couldn't explain shit.
Because the nature of a pilot. You have to be able to identify things. If it's unidentifiable, we can't fly. Like, technically, we should be like, yo, move, leave, this, that. Like, everything, there's a route in the air. That's what people don't understand.
And they're fighter jets. They're the top tier like vehicle that we have in the air.
Yeah.
And they can't even come close to keeping up with these things.
I don't think we ever will. And that's what we don't understand. We won't. We won't get close.
Hopefully. That'd be pretty sick, bro. Mobbing through the sky, 1,000 miles an hour.
Hopefully. But I don't think we can. I honestly don't think we can. Because they, like, if they are growing too, they definitely started at a different standard. Like, they were just, like I said, designed as a different creature to be better, I think.
Yeah.
Insane, bro. It's insane that we're even talking about it like that.
I know, right? It makes it all seem like it's a simulation.
Yeah. My neck hurts from all this.
So let's go on to some pictures.
Oof.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is an account, probably one of the most famous accounts in the 1950s in Oregon, called the McMinnville UFO photographs. Now, these were taken by a farming couple, Paul and Evelyn Trent, near McMinnville, Oregon. Let me go on to the account. Let me see. So, according to astronomer William K. Hartman's account, on May 11th, 1950, at 7:30 p.m., Evelyn Trent was walking back to her farmhouse after feeding her caged rabbits. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Before reaching the house, she noticed a slow-moving metallic disc-shaped object heading in her direction from the northeast.
A slow-moving, okay.
Yeah. She yelled for her husband, Paul, who was inside the house. He claimed that upon leaving the house, he also saw the object. After watching the object for a short time, he went back inside their home to obtain a camera.
Mm-hmm.
He said he managed to take 2 photos of the object before it sped away to the west. Paul Trent's father also claimed he briefly viewed the object before it flew away. So the pictures that we're going to put here right now,
they're scary, by the way. So.
And let me also mention this, okay? Just before we put these pictures up. The analysis of the pictures. In 1975, the negatives were found in the files of the News Register by Bruce Maccabee, an optical physicist for the U.S. Navy and UFOologist. After completing his own study of the photos, Maccabee ensured that the original negatives were finally returned to the Trents. He concluded that the photographs were not hoax and showed a real physical object in the sky above the Trent farm. So these are verified.
Hell yeah. And anyone that knows anything about film, if you have the negatives, cannot replicate. Like it's as original, like nothing, like from camera to film. That's it.
Yeah. So we'll post 3 pictures here. The first one, first of all, just look at the vibe of this picture. It's
Eerie.
immense.
Eerie.
Farmland, eerie.
Dude, Signs, but if Signs was black and white.
Yes.
I swear.
And you see straight in the middle of the picture, you see a flying saucer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The second picture, you see a more clear version of the flying saucer, except you see some type of like antenna thing on the top. And then the third picture is we have a more zoomed in version. Like undeniably, you see a disc-shaped object.
Mm-hmm. A frisbee, if you will.
Which in the 1950s, I mean, considering the accounts we already discussed, the Roswell incident in the mid-40s, another incident in the 40s in New Mexico, this lines up. So the question is, what the fuck is that object?
We call it a UFO. We call it a flying saucer.
You didn't have any planes like that.
You call it whatever you
1950s.
want. Because we don't know what that is. But we know it's an object. And we know it's high in tech.
I don't know, bro. Some crazy shit.
Yeah. And like, think about the antenna thing. Like we see it even in like Futurama or whatever. The flying disc with an antenna. Like that comes from somewhere. And it's because it's been sighted over and over and over. So when people draw it out of memory, that's just kind of like how you picture a UFO now.
Yeah. By the way, that picture was the front cover of Time magazine for a period of time.
My God, bro. That's, we live in a different time today. I don't even know if anyone reads magazines anymore.
Yeah. Barely anybody.
Right. Just look at how everything shifted. But, bro.
Well, let's go to another one, okay? We have more. This is another account. Now, this was from a fighter pilot.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what year this was, but it was relatively recent.
2021.
Yeah, it involved a triangle craft coming out of the water. But this thing's up in the air at the time of the photograph. Although it may be in the works, what came out was that a pilot of an F-18 fighter jet captured a picture of a stationary cube-shaped object hovering at over 30,000 feet. Now, when we show you this picture, we're going to show you the original one that the fighter pilot took. You see a dot, okay? Not a big deal.
Nothing. Yeah.
But then when we show you the zoomed-in picture, we see this triangle-like shaped object.
Yeah, and it looks like it has like studs or it's weird on the sides.
Now, there is some people who try to find this as a hoax, think it's a Batman balloon because it looks exactly like this.
Yeah, I'll post the balloon up too so you can see it. And if you look close enough, you'll see that it resembles it heavily.
But the problem is this thing's at 30,000 feet and it's stationary, according to the fighter pilot. Do you know of any normal-ass party balloon that can withstand the pressure of 30,000 feet?
No, unless it was a good day for it. But
So it was I don't know, man. Based on the account, it doesn't make sense that it's a balloon.
yeah,
But this thing looks freaky.
it does. It does.
Like,
It
what
really
do you
does.
think? What the hell do you see in the air that looks like this? That moves the way it does?
Bro, it reminds me of that Pokemon. That, I forgot what it's called, but it's like it's in a shell. It's like the sharp shell.
I'm not going to try to find it. It's going to take too much time, but I know what
Whatever.
you're talking about.
It's like a cocoon. Little cocoon thingy. Anyway.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I'm just wondering, like, after this episode, what everyone's going to be thinking, or like what kind of questions they're going to have. Because I'm thinking of like I said, do I want to test them? No. I'm sure they're much stronger and they could just do this and just end me. So it's like, why? But yes, I am intrigued. I'm willing to sit and watch what, people will uncover about this.
mm-hmm.
If we make any new captures or not.
Yeah.
If that's even possible. I don't even know.
We still have a little bit of, like, a few things to discuss. I think We have a few videos to show. The
Yeah.
Pentagon videos, you can include them whenever you want. But I think for the most part, the accounts of abductions have been positive, actually. Like these extraterrestrial beings have tried to help people. Travis Walton is one of the most famous examples where he was abducted. 5 days later, he wakes up, has a recollection of the experience. But he actually sustained, and a lot of people report this, sustained radioactive burns. And he had, I think, a pretty intense one near his abdomen. And he reports that these otherworldly beings were actually trying to help heal him. Like they weren't trying to, the common Hollywood sight that they're trying to dissect you and like, try to understand you and do some crazy shit. That was not the case here. And please search up the Travis Walton incident. It's a fascinating account. But yeah, man, I think they're on our side. I think they're trying to help prevent nuclear Armageddon, as crazy as it sounds.
Or there are good ones and bad ones. And
Maybe.
they're fighting each other too. So
Maybe.
I don't know, man. We live in this world of Power Rangers like we did when we were kids. And that never changes. Yeah.
Do we have anything else to discuss on this?
I think that's it. I think we should let them ponder and ask the questions themselves. But yeah, we're going to be linking some videos too down that we think are interesting. With many people that are witnesses and people that have seen files and gone through cases and things like that. They will also, you get to see them speak their mind.
And then I have 2 questions for the audience.
Yeah.
Do you believe aliens are real? And if so, do you have any personal experience or accounts that you cannot explain that you want us to know? Let us know in the
we would love to
comments.
hear them, actually. Love hearing stories. All right, guys, you know where to find us. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and all major streaming platforms. Go ahead and check us out. Leave us a 5-star review on Spotify. You won't regret that. We would love you for that. And Apple Podcasts as well. Go ahead and subscribe on our YouTube channel, and we will catch you next time. Peace.